Okay, imagine this. You're live streaming a football match, switching between 5 4K cameras, running a scoreboard, adding replays, encoding your video, controlling a couple PTZ cameras, recording it at the same time, and still have time to sip your coffee, and doing all that from one single device. Sounds like sci-fi, right? Well, maybe not, because this little beast right here, the YoloBox Extreme, claims to do all of that and more. So today we're getting to know the YoloBox Extreme. Hello again, I'm Tony with another episode of Kinoptico. A quick disclaimer, YoloLive sent me this unit at no cost, and I get to keep it as well, but this won't change in any way what I actually think about this device, but I just want to be as honest with you as possible from the very beginning. So that said, let's get started. All right, so first things first, inside of the box, you will get this beautiful unit. Inside of it, you will also get 2 of these cables. I'm already using one of them. You will get a charger that comes inside of this box. The charger comes with a bunch of adapters that will allow you to connect it wherever you are in the planet. So you will get 2 of these cables. One of them is basically to connect the unit to the power. It also comes with a power brick. And the other one is a data cable. I see the blue here, so probably it's a 3.0, 3.1 cable, data cable for you to transfer files or connect any other device to the unit. Inside here, we'll also have a user's manual, some other social media stuff from YoloLive. And inside here of this little box is where the 2 Wi-Fi antennas of the unit come. We also have a hot shoe, cold shoe adapter for you to mount this unit on top of whatever you need to mount it. All right, so with that out of the way, let's go to the nerdy part of this. Inputs and outputs. All right, nerds, buckle up. We're entering ports territory. Let's see how many inputs and outputs can we find here. And yep, it's like the Avengers of inputs and outputs back here. 8 HDMI inputs with 5 of them capable of up to 4K 60. That is insane. And 3 of them with capability of up to 1080p. And all of these inputs have a built-in scaler. That means that if you connect 1080p camera in a 4K input, it will just upscale it immediately. And the same vice versa. If you connect a 4K HDMI cable into a 1080p input, it will just downscale the image so that it fits properly. This unit also has 2 HDMI outputs, ideal to send the image to a projector, to a multi-view monitor if you need to. It also has 2 USB Type A ports for webcams, SSDs, or whatever needed. 2 audio inputs accepting line and mic levels. It also has 2 USB-C ports, one for charging the unit itself, and the other one that can be used as an input or output. We'll go through the menu to see how that works later. And here we can see an SD card slot for internal recording, including ISO recording, which is absolutely insane. I mean, you can record your program output, but you can also record each camera individually and in 4K in case you want to polish your footage after the fact, which adds an extra layer of flexibility. In terms of connectivity, it has a SIM card slot, 2 powerful Wi-Fi antennas, and an Ethernet port for triple internet connection. So not even live streaming from your grandma's basement in the middle of nowhere will stop this live stream. YoloLive claims that these external Wi-Fi antennas can reach up to 90 meters for a stronger Wi-Fi connectivity. And here you can also find an audio output, which is ideal for whatever purpose you need, whether it is monitoring your audio or sending the audio signal somewhere else. And at the bottom right, you'll find the power button. Also, right in the middle at the bottom of the unit, you will find a 1/4 mounting screw hole, which is ideal for mounting the unit in a tripod or even install the cage that YoloLive also provides for this beautiful unit. It is also important to mention that this device includes 6 NDI inputs, so you can connect wirelessly to your cameras if needed. I mean, you can even connect your smartphone camera to this amazing device. We will be seeing this later when we explore the menus. So you can basically build a small TV studio with this YoloBox Extreme, a device that you can actually bring anywhere in a backpack, because look at the size of this. And talking about the size, the YoloBox Extreme, which is the flagship live streaming beast from YoloLive, is 10.4 by 6.6 by 1.1 inches, and the weight of this is 3.3 pounds. So let's go to the touch screen and UI experience. This 11.2-inch OLED touchscreen is buttery smooth. It has a 2.5K resolution with a refresh rate of 120 Hz and 1000 nits of brightness. So basically, you can see this in direct sunlight with no problem. So you don't have to become a human umbrella or something. Okay, so let's see what this amazing device can do. If you're familiar with the YoloBox interface, then you know that at the beginning, the first screen is to the right, the monitor mode, and on the left-hand side is the live streaming with YoloLive. The monitor mode, you can use it as, let's say, to practice or to set up your cameras, to set up your equipment, and then go to the live stream. I'm gonna use actually the live streaming mode. And here I already created a project. For you to get to this point, you only have to like hit here, the plus button on the bottom right corner. That will allow you to create a new project. I already created mine. I'm going to resume here. As soon as you open this interface, the first thing that you can see is basically the audio meters on top. Right now, I'm not sending any audio here, so you won't be able to see anything happening. I already added 4 cameras that I have. This one, this one, this one, and this one. And if you wish to add any other video source, whether it is a camera or a video player, whatever it is, just click on the plus button here, add video source. And here you have a huge amount of video sources, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, USB 1, USB 2, USB-C. Video from your memory card, actually, you can do that, absolutely. Images from your memory card, PDF from your memory card. You can add a live stream from a different YoloBox, which is crazy. I mean, you can do a live stream with a person being somewhere else in a different country, even by adding it here. You can add NDI sources here, SRT, SRT listener, RTMP. These are basically different protocols on how you can add sources to this device. You can even add a web page here, and you can have that web page as a video source. Yeah. Also, as video sources, you can have whatever kind of combination of cameras in these multi-views right here. This is basically what we call super source, where you can combine in different graphical ways 2 or 3 cameras, even 4 cameras you can have. This one here is actually 4 cameras. I'm actually going to add 4 cameras, and camera A, B, C, and D are going to be the 4 cameras I have, and then done. Now that I have those 4 cameras, I can actually add a background to that. I'll select, let's say, this one. Okay, now I have those sources and I have a background. I can actually modify even the border lines, the thickness of the border. I can change the color of that if I wanted to. I'm just gonna leave it. I'm gonna make it blue, probably. Nah, it looks better white. Okay, So you can scale this up or down however you want. You can modify it, and then you can actually reselect the screens if you had more cameras or video sources. And then as soon as you're done, you just click done on that corner there, and here you have this video source as another camera. Just imagine you're switching like if you were switching another camera. Let's switch to that. As you can see, we just switched to that, which is really cool. So before I keep going, I'm gonna let you know exactly the setup that I have here. I basically have, as I said, 4 cameras connected up here. I have 2 outputs. One of them I set it up to be the program, which I'm sending to this monitor right here. And then I'm sending the, well, it's basically a screen recorder. I'm mirroring the screen basically, which I'm gonna explain you later how to do. I'm mirroring the screen and sending it to this Atomos Ninja 5 here, just to record whatever I'm explaining you here, so you can have access and see the menus the same way I'm doing here. And to keep going, okay, so here if you touch this corner here, you will have like a bigger screen. You will expand the screen basically, and you can actually switch directly from there by just a single tap. You can actually have a double tap. We're gonna see that later. Up here on top we have the replay button, the record button, the go live button, and the resolution that you wish to do your live stream or your recordings. If you click on, I have it right now at 1080p for live streaming. If I was to live stream, as you can see here, you can change the resolution of that up to 4K 60. You can live stream. You can change the frame rate right here. I have it at 30 at the moment. You can change the bit rate. Right now I just have it at 4 megabits per second. And then down here I have the recording and encoding settings. Right now I have it at 4K, which is something I can choose right here. And the frames per second, I have it the same as the live streaming settings, which is 30 frames per second. And the bit rate, as I'm recording at 4K, is in this case 28 megabits per second. You can actually increase or decrease that however you choose. If you click on more settings here, this is interesting because you can actually encode this in H.264 or even H.265. H.265, if it's a format that is a little bit harder to work with, but it will substantially compress your video so that you don't have to use a lot of hard drive space. I'll say that H.265 is almost half of what H.264 would use. Down here you have the encoding type. If you click on that, you have CBR, CQ, and VBR. CBR means constant bit rate. That's what I have it set up for right now. CQ means constant quality, and VBR means variable bit rate. When a camera is moving a lot, side to side or up to down or whatever, it's going to use more data than if the camera was in a static shot where not much is moving. So, but depending on the event or the live streaming that you're doing, if it's let's say a football game or something like that, there's a lot of movement. So I'll recommend you to leave it in constant bit rate. That'll be like a balanced level of data that you're going to be using. And talking about data, just make sure you don't bring a 32 gigabytes SD card to a 4K fight. That's like bringing a spoon to a sword battle. So get at least 512 gigabytes V90 SD card for you to be, you know, safe. And if you're recording ISO plus your program, I don't know, maybe a good idea will be to use an external SSD, maybe 1 terabyte, 2 terabytes, whatever. And that is something we'll have to try and see the data rate and how much it uses, let's say per hour. Okay, so let's keep going with the menu here. Let's click on the top right there where that gear is. And as you can see, it says classic mode, which is a default mode. But if we click on that, you'll see that you have the director's mode, which is actually the way we mostly use live streaming switchers, with the program on the right hand side and the preview on the left. But in this case, yeah, so that you can just click once and preview whatever you're gonna send to the program. And then I have it set up in this case so that with a double tap, it will send the image to the program, which is something I'll show you how to do in a few minutes. And talking about this, here we have some quick transitions. There's cut, fade, and there's wipe. Those are like the quick transitions for you to switch in case you need to. I'm gonna change to fade, and then I'm gonna switch to this camera. As you can see, it works excellent. Here we have the wipe. Okay, and then we switch to that. Perfect. We have a fade to black button right on top here. We can go fade to black. And so this button here in the middle, it's also useful in case you want to use it to send your preview to the program right there, as I just did. There's also a lot of other transitions that we're gonna check later on. Let's go back to the menu right here, and let's switch back to the classic mode, as they call it. Even though for me, classic mode is more what they call the director's mode, but that's how it's called here. Anyways, if we keep going exploring here, this menu, the CPU usage is being shown on the top right corner there, right beside the battery and right beside the memory card. This is a feature you can turn on or off if I switch it here. As you can see, I can turn it on and off. I think a good idea will be to have it on so that you know exactly how loaded is this unit at the moment. Right now it's only 34-35% that I'm using. The internal CPU, I mean that's the processor of the unit. That will give you a good idea if you're too high, if you bring it to 100% or something. Probably recording all the inputs and maybe recording ISO will be very demanding. So that's something, it's a good idea to have that there. Right here, there's also a title save or show title action zone for you to be aware of where to place the titles. I guess basically for composition purposes is also very useful, but this will give you an idea of where to place properly the titles, which we'll do later. Here we have the video switching control. The video switching control will allow you to, if you click on it, you can select if you want to switch cameras by clicking once or by clicking twice, I mean double clicking. In this case, I'm gonna choose double clicking, and then as you can see, if I click once, it doesn't do anything. I have to double tap, 1, 2, 1, 2, to be able to switch. I'm just gonna leave it at 1 click for now. You can also do the same if you want to double click or single click when you are in director's mode. Like if you go to director's mode and then you tap here to preview, but you have to double click to select the camera that you want to send to your program. As I said, I'm not using that mode right now, but I just wanted to let you know exactly what this selection is here. All right, now let's go to local video settings. If you hit on that, you'll see that basically this is to control the behavior of your video playback settings. In this case, if you have some videos stored in your memory card, you can tell the unit what to do. If you want to, the first choice here is resume first frame and pause. The second choice is playback position hold. I prefer that choice there, because if I am in a video and I switch cameras, the video will pause and then keep going if I go back to the video itself. This is the way on stopping and resuming the video that's playing. And here there's a local videos play mode. Loop playback is the first one, and stop at the last frame is the second one. I'll leave it at stop at the last frame because I don't want the video to play back again if I just finish watching it. Why would it play back again? I mean, there may be some instances where you could use a video to loop through over and over. That's a possibility, yeah. But if you are, let's say, you go to a commercial break, probably you just want the videos to pause right after the video has been played. Let's go now to the input settings. Okay, so this is basically for HDMI input 1, 2, and 3, which, by the way, are the most CPU demanding inputs. YoloLive actually recommends to use inputs 4 and up, as they will be more efficient and less demanding for the CPU. But again, you can also, of course, use these ones. Here the settings are 30, 50, or 60 FPS. Right now they are set up to 60 FPS. And here it says HDMI 1, 2, and 3 only support a maximum resolution of 1080p. Any signal input exceeding this resolution will be forcibly compressed to 1080p, which is an auto scaler. It's amazing. So if you have a 4K camera connected there, you won't have any issues because it'll just downscale it. HDMI 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 support a maximum input of 4K 60. Any video formats will lower resolutions and frame rates will be automatically recognized. That's amazing. That's a great feature. When there's fewer connected HDMI input devices, it is recommended to prioritize the use of HDMI in 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. That's exactly what I was saying. Okay, so let's go to the output settings. Here we have, if we click on it, we have HDMI output 1 and HDMI output 2. Right now I have both set up for 1080p. Here, as you can see, it actually recognizes that the Ninja is what's connected. I could actually change the resolution that I'm recording in the Ninja if I wanted to, but I'm gonna leave it the way it is right now. And HDMI output 2 is just recognizing actually this portable monitor that I have connected here, and I can send a signal there up to 1080p, which is awesome. So this recognizes whatever I have connected on it, which is awesome. And then here in the outputs, you can select what you want in that output. You can have it program out, which is what it's set up right now. You can have multi-view out, you can have custom out, which means you can basically send whatever camera out, so you can project it or use it for whatever you want. Here in output 2, which is where I have this monitor connected, I have program out right here. The same, multi-view, custom out, and mirror out. In mirror out is exactly what I'm using, as I told you before. So it's basically sending me the whole screen to the Ninja V so that I can record all the menu the way you're seeing it here. Okay, so let's keep going with this menu here, and the next item is USB-C out. So what is this? This is basically to configure what you want to do with this USB-C port right here. Right now, by default, is set up to be an input. So you can connect, let's say, even a camera, or you can connect a webcam if you want it. But let's say you want to set this port as an output, you can just turn it on, as I just did. Now it's an output. You can send this to, let's say, your laptop, live stream from your laptop if you want, to whatever platform, whether it is Zoom or YouTube or whatever you want to do from there, from the laptop. So this is very convenient. I assume that as an output, you could probably also connect an SSD hard drive, probably. So here it says that by default, the USB-C port operates in input mode, disabled for output. Once USB-C out is enabled, the port can no longer function as an input. So it cannot work both things at the same time. So it's an input or an output, and that's something you can set up right here. Let's go to NDI out. Okay, so this sending NDI out will allow you to send whatever you have here, whatever you're doing here, to basically whatever you want in the network. Okay, so let's go to the next item, recording file management. Internal storage, recording file management. Here, the internal storage, because this is also amazing in this device, you have actually 216 gigabytes of internal memory that you can use for whatever purpose you want. You can use it for video recording, to store your videos, or whatever other purpose. Right now I'm not using it. I'm basically using 2.22 gigabytes of 216, which is awesome. Then the next item here is the SD card, how much memory I have left, and this is what I have. I have a 119 gigabytes memory card in there. And then the next item is USB storage. I don't have any USB SSD connected to this, so it won't show me anything at the moment. So the next item on the list is others, and the first one is mobile web control. This is awesome. It's a really, really useful feature, and I'm gonna show you how to use it right now. Basically, you go to this website. I save this website in my home screen. I'll leave the website in the description of this video. And as you can see here, I have the IP address that the unit is currently connected to. I'm going to introduce that same IP address to this website here, 172.this.1.180, and then click on connect. And this is just crazy. Look at this. So I have my 4 cameras and the multi-view that I previously programmed, and I can switch. Look at that. I'm done now. So now I can switch from my phone, as you can see. This is extremely useful because sometimes we're just one-man band and you have to go and do something, fix the angle of a camera or something, and but all of a sudden somebody else started talking or whatever, and you can actually switch to your wide angle or switch to any other cameras without the hassle of being there, like right in front of the unit. You can just go to whatever this reaches. Right now I'm connected to the Wi-Fi here, and this unit is hardwired, like connected through an Ethernet cable, but they're both connected to the same network, and that is a lot of flexibility right there. And let's see the last item of this list, which is the YoloDeck configuration. It's a device very similar to a Stream Deck that you can basically configure to control this unit from. All right, now let's go through the bottom items of this list. Whatever you see an icon like this, that means that you can scale up or down the size of the windows that you're using to control the unit. In this case, the cameras, you can make them bigger or smaller. All right, if we keep going, at the bottom here, the first item, it's that network bonding service that YoloLive provides with a yearly plan or monthly plan that you can activate from. This is very useful if you want to be on the safe side when doing a live streaming. Let's say you want to combine different internet sources to have a more robust internet connection. So that's where you do that. All right, so let's go to the next menu item at the bottom. Here is where you select the live streaming platform that you want to send your signal to. YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, RTMP. On RTMP, you can send the signal to basically whatever you want, including your own website, if that's something you want to do. you can basically link the accounts that you have in those platforms to this device to do your live streaming over there. Here I have it in, if you see on top, there is direct single platform stream, which is a default, but you can actually use the YoloLive multi-streaming service. If you select it there, you'll find this prompt here, and that will allow you to live stream, I think, to up to 3 platforms without any additional cost. For free, you can live stream, I think, to up to 3 platforms. And then the streaming and encoding is right here. For live streaming, we saw this menu before. For recording, we saw it. And for live streaming, you can select if you want to live stream in 4K, in 1080p, 2K, even 720 if you want. And then how many frames per second, bit rate. And then in more settings here, if you click on that, you'll see that you can live stream in H.264 or H.265, whatever is more convenient for you. Probably H.265 will be a good choice in this case. And then again, constant bit rate, constant quality, and variable bit rate. But that's something we saw before. And then let's go to the next item in the menu at the bottom. That's where you add overlays. This is actually one of the most exciting, amazing things that this device can do. You can actually add overlays or graphics to your live stream. You just have to click add, and here you can select from the wide amount of graphics they have here. You have lower thirds. You can select an image, import it directly from your SD card. You can have titles like this. You can have a timer. You can have a video source. You can select a video source as an overlay. That's amazing. There's YoloCast overlays and third-party overlays. You can even use a website. There's websites, there's a list of them here that you can actually go there, create overlays, and introduce the URL of that website here and have that overlay play in your live stream. Isn't that amazing? Let's just do something very basic here. I'm going to use this one. I just added that one. I can actually customize this overlay however I want to customize it. I can change the size of the title itself. I can change the font that I'm using for that. I can change even the name of that. If I want to change the name, let's say the name of your guest, the name of the player, that's whatever. So you have it there, and you can easily choose that name and just play it. Here you can change the colors of these graphics. You can increase the size of the graphics at the bottom. Upscale, you can have the duration. This is important because you can actually add a timer to that so that it hides and comes back up. I'm going to change that to, let's say, 5 seconds. So now that we created this graphic, let's introduce it in our live stream. So as you can see, it's counting down those 5 seconds and going away. That's amazing. So you can basically, well, if you tap on it and you tap again, it's just gonna go in and out. Having a device the size of an iPad with all of these features integrated makes everything easier, extremely easier. All right, so let's go now to the next feature, which is audio in this case. As you can see, HDMI 4 is the only one bringing audio in at the moment. So basically for every camera that you have connected here, you will have an audio meter. There's also a way to turn on and turn off the audio from your cameras or from your inputs if you want. You can also select audio follows video if that's something you would need. Usually in professional video live streaming, this is not a feature we use a lot, but it could be convenient in some instances. Maybe you have 2 cameras set up and you have 2 separate microphones, and you want for some reason to use or turn on the audios coming from those cameras, or even from one single camera, just to take it as your master audio. And here we have the next item of the list, which is the recording menu. Here you can basically select where you want the device to record your video, whether it is in the internal storage, in the SD card, or even in an external storage device like an SSD. So you can choose that right here. Here is where you visualize what your current recording settings are and encoding settings too. And in this case is 4K 30, 28 megabits per second, H.264 constant bitrate. And also you can select what you want to record. For instance, right now I have it selected to program. That will be the ideal, right? But you can also select any of the inputs coming to your device and record any particular camera. So very convenient as well. Down here, if I click on that, you can record continuously, or you can record in chunks, like little segments. You have 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30, and 60. They have it to 10 minutes just for safety purposes, because if anything happens, let's say you have a blackout or you have a problem, whatever it is, you have a corrupt video or your unit crashes or whatever, this is, I'll say, a lifesaver. I'll leave it at 10 minutes in this case, because it'll record in chunks of 10 minutes each time. Later I can just put that video together in a timeline if I want it, and then just edit it or whatever I want to do. And that way you will be saving that video, and if anything happens in the next one, well, that's the next one. It's going to be corrupted, but that's the next one. It's not going to be all my video. Like if I select continuous right here, continuously, I don't know. But that's up to you. You can set it to whatever is convenient to you. Myself, I think 10 minutes it's a safe way to make sure that nothing's gonna happen to your video in case something happens. All right, so let's go to the next menu item. In this case is a very exciting one, is the scoreboard. You can basically have a scoreboard for a game, for instance. So you can turn it on, you can actually change here the points as they go, which is amazing. If you click on the top here, you will find that there's also other styles of scoreboards. You see that little icon, check mark on top of the scoreboard there? You just click on that, and there you go. There you have the scoreboard on top, covering my forehead right now. Okay, so 2 points to my forehead. Okay, that's what it means. You can change the size of the scoreboard to be bigger or smaller. If you click on it, it will just disappear from the screen, and then you can place it whatever you want. If you like it there, you just leave it there. So you can customize this however you want, pretty much. And the next menu item is also a very exciting and unique one. It's crazy. You can do replay in this device. I mean, you can replay parts of a game or whatever you want. Let's select the video source. Let's say camera 4 is going to be my source for this replay. You can actually even select more than one camera. You can select 2 cameras. Anyways, turn on replay. You can actually add your own stinger, I think it is, probably. But there's one, by the way, but you can load more from your internal memory if you want. You can load an intro and an outro of that replay. That's really cool. I'm gonna turn that on to make it more exciting. There's 2 already there. Let me see. So are we ready to replay this? All right, so the replay function is already set up. I think it is. So let's do something stupid, whatever it is, and then replay it. Let's say I'm gonna drink this last sip of coffee. And then I'm gonna hit replay here, play now, and there it is. Crazy, isn't it? So we have replay inside of this unit. What's gonna compete against this thing? This little device with all of these amazing features included. So if you think that was exciting, just check the next item in the list. Is this one here, is auto switch. Yeah, this device includes auto switching, which is ideal for podcasts, for instance. You can have 2 or 3 cameras set up. You can have one with one character, another one with the other one, and then a wide angle with both of them. And this device will switch between them. It can do it in 2 different ways. One way is with a timer, and the other one is by the threshold that the audio is reaching. So if a person is speaking now, the device will switch to the camera that audio is coming from. And then when the other person starts talking, it may switch to a wide angle and then to the other person. So in this menu, the first thing you have to do is select the video sources. It could be camera 7 and 5, whatever cameras you want to set this to, so that the device switches from one to the other. You can select it right there. You can have this as a loop. You can have it sequential from one camera to another. You can have an order that's sequential, or you can have it random. I'll prefer to make it look more organic to be random, for instance. The main video source, you can select which of the video sources is more important than the other. The other is probably to give it a little bit of precedence or importance. Maybe the host or the guest is more important. Video follows audio. If you do it, that's the default mode. But if you select it with video follows audio, this is, I think, the ideal way to do this. The settings for this is the switch delay sensitivity. So you can set that up higher or lower. The minimum switch duration, 2 seconds. Threshold decibels. This is where you set up the decibels, so that when somebody is talking, the camera will switch to the person talking. And the threshold, you can set it up to be more or less depending on who's talking. You probably should make a test before you start doing this, using this feature, so you know exactly how loud this person talks versus this other person, it's amazing. You can set this up like very granularly, which makes it feel very professional. All right, let's go to the next one. And the next item here is invite guests. So believe it or not, you can actually have somebody else with a YoloBox somewhere else, and together you can do a live stream. Let's say you are in New York, somebody is in Vancouver, and you both want to do a live stream together with 2 YoloBoxes. You can do it with this. Here you can invite a guest. If you click on top here, you can invite guests by email. You just set up the email here and you just send the invitation. You can invite up to 5 people. Please enter their email addresses and send the link directly to your own email to share. And now let's go to the next item of the list. Here is where you allow comments, whether it is from Facebook, for instance, or from YouTube. You can have those comments. If there's an audience that's following you, you can actually have those live comments in the screen. Right now I'm not live streaming, so I don't have any comments here, but if you were to select how these titles or these comments will show up, it'll be like this mode. It could be like this, or it could be like this. I mean, there's different styles that these comments will show up for you on the screen. It will show the newest 100 comments that will be displayed on the screen if you choose to. All right, so let's go to the next item here on the menu, and this is where you can introduce some background music if you want. I mean, you can bring the music from somewhere else through the audio input if you want, but you can have your audio, let's say, in your memory card. For that, you'll just click on this plus button here, and you will select if the audio is coming from the internal memory or from an SD card or from a USB, SSD, or whatever it is that you have it, and then you can just have your music there. So the last item of this menu is the transitions here. I think we briefly touched on this before, but here's where you select which transitions you want to use. I'm going to make this screen wider here so you can see better what I'm doing. And then I'm going to select the transitions. If I want to do, let's say, cross zoom, I can just select that. And then when I choose a camera, it'll just do whatever transition I pre-selected. Flip page, let's see. Okay. All right, and now if you go to the last item of this menu at the bottom here, you have the 3 dots. Basically, this is where you customize how you want this bottom menu to show up. So let's say you want to, let's say, inviting guests, if it's very important to you and you want to put it on top of the list, you just click done, and then as you can see, it's now showing first in the list. You can actually even remove some of these items. If you don't use them that often, just click on the minus button here, just remove them. Okay, remove. Okay, so I just removed those 2, as you can see, video transitions and network bonding. But if I want to re-add them, I just click on the plus button and it has been re-added. Click on the plus button, it has been re-added. Okay, I'm just gonna click restore default here to have everything the way it was from factory. And there I have it. Everything is back to where it was before. All right, this video is getting a little bit long now, but before I go, I just wanna show you a few more features that this amazing device also has. And one of them is the preview window menu, like this one right here. You can flip horizontal, you can do chroma key. This is where you do chroma key. You can rename this input from HDMI 5. You can rename it to whatever you want. Flip vertical, cropping, transition, rotate 90 degree, duplicate this window and have 2 of them. I don't know what you will need that for, but you can do it. But from this menu, this is what I want to touch on. This is what's important. PTZ control. Look at that. I'll show you in a separate video that I will make just about this, a short video about how to set up the PTZ control. But today I want to just real quick, I'm going to click on done here. And then here, as you can see, I have PTZ control, on-screen PTZ control. This is insane. This is, how could they pack so many things in a device this tiny? I mean, it's not tiny, but it's a lot of features. So in this screen that you see here, you can actually pre-program different movements. For instance, I have on top of the screen, as you can see, I have P1, P2, P3, P4, and P5. I already pre-programmed those. If I click on P1, the camera moves to that spot there, the mini donuts that my daughter did for me. And then P2 is that camera over there. P3 will be that monitor. P4 will be those screens back there. And P5 will be these little platy here. Okay. If you wanted to reprogram those movements, that's something you could also do. Okay, so to close up this video, I want to show you just the last feature. There's a lot of other stuff that you can do with this, but just the last feature, NDI input. So I'm going to add a video source here. I'm going to go to NDI, and here I'm going to, oh, I already have 2 cameras with NDI here, but I'm going to select my phone. I'm going to select this one, and I'm going to click done. Okay. And this is how the YoloBox Extreme looks from my phone. This is crazy. It's just amazing. That's all I can say. So if I were to say that there's pros and cons, I don't know. I haven't found many cons on this device so far. If there's one, probably is the price, because it is a little bit pricey. It's about $2,000 US, which would be close to 2,900 Canadian dollars. But you get what you're paying for. Who should buy this? If you're doing sports, church live streams, corporate events, or field interviews, this is a dream of a rig. Especially if you want these pro level features in a carry-on size device. But if you're doing basic webcam streams from home, it might be a little bit overkill for you, unless you like flexing. So the YoloBox Extreme delivers on its name. It's extremely powerful, extremely capable, and yes, extremely fun to use. It's like the Swiss Army knife for live streamers. So if you have any questions, just feel free to drop them off in the comments. I'll be making a couple more short videos about a few particular features of what this device can do, like how to set up the PTZ control, for instance, how to properly use the NDI and what apps and whatever you can use to be able to use your phone, for instance. Remember, if this video was of any help to you, just like, subscribe if you would like. I'll really appreciate that. We're reaching almost 7,000 subscribers at this point. So stay tuned for those videos that are about to come. See you next time.